Yo, what is good, my anime people? What is good, yo? Guys, we have a pretty interesting episode as a whole with our two ladies and just the adventure that they're on. I don't know, there's something about this show that is just very upbeat and easy to kind of take in the grand scheme of if you like these types of worlds where they're in video games and they actually enjoy the game they're in and trying to grind and have fun, it always makes the world more enticing around them just because everything and anything they see is kind of exciting to them or very, very dangerous. And not only that, we see a new side of this place um, with the, what you call it? The people who are running it, sorry. The higher ups, I guess you can say. And maybe they're just like avatar forms or something, but they all look the same and they all were speaking. But these little tiny things that are floating on these like pads or whatever are watching and monitoring our girls. At least they're watching at the most, Maple. And because they are watching her and understanding that, um, they're probably made the the patches and the things to actually change up her skill and her job. I think these are the people that do that, right? Like they're the true like moderators or whatever. So it was crazy to me to see them kind of get scared almost because think about it like this. In a game where you know something is way too strong and powerful, you do whatever you can to make it fair. You do whatever you can to dumb it down a little bit so it plays better with the others. But at the same time, you also drop in a monster who's supposed to be undefeatable, impossible to beat, and has some of the most deadliest skills, all these different things. And two people solo it. They straight up state that it was a prank. Like this was a prank, and we probably shouldn't have even done that. Anybody who bumps into this is kind of just running into our practical joke that was never meant to be beat. But because it's a practical joke and still a video game, they still had to act as if it wasn't a joke, right? They had to treat it as if it was something that if it was beaten, it comes with something. And that's something in this battle was super dope, man. It was so cool just to see them really putting together their brain power to beat something that they've never seen before, and they pretty much had to learn on the fly, right? So not only did they do all that, learn on the fly, and do all this, it comes down to this weird um, little glitch, kind of, where it felt as if the monster just took a new leap. Just all of a sudden, it's completely black and shadowed, hitting way harder than it was originally, and all these things are adding up and making our girls work twice as hard. Um, and that's what really like surprised me about this because at the end of the day, they're not supposed to be able to win. They're not supposed to be able to beat this thing. So for them to find a way through, even though, our girl did learn a skill mid-fight that actually saved her. That's the only reason why this maybe worked out as well as it did. All the attention being on Maple and giving her teammate the freedom to pretty much maneuver, do skills to even get her closer, stuff like that. would not have been possible without Maple taking as much damage as she did, or continuously just being in the way of damage by using her covery move and cover in general, which we've seen her cover move so much in this 1 week's episode that you would actually think she's a fast moving character because her teammate's so fast. Her teammate's moving all over the place, and by her saying cover move, she gets to teleport to her nearest teammate and try to absorb the damage for them. So that's definitely a paladin move from like Final Fantasy that I love to use as well. And not only did they like really go in on this one, in Final Fantasy it doesn't take up all of the damage, so they're like, why not just make it a broken mechanic? Unlike in other like real video games where there have to be balancing, so they just take out that unfun balancing part and make it part of a character's characteristics and part of their skills to really do it justice, as you will. But yeah, like I was saying, their combination, their teamwork, their overall tenacity towards everything during this was hype, and I definitely look forward to seeing what they're going to bring to the table at the end of the day. We saw the team go in before them because she wanted to be nice and allow them to go, and within like a good 15 minutes, probably less, the teleporter was open and available, as if the party inside already won or the party inside already lost, or there was nothing in there and they just went in the place and teleported to the next way. But we know what was in there. So like I was saying, this monster was super cheap. They somehow find a way. You guys are gonna have to see how they find a way around it, and they end up with these monster eggs, which bless Maple's heart, man, and how just cutesy she is. She's over there holding her egg for the first time, and she reads it. The warmer it is, the sooner it may hatch, or something along those lines. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna hatch you soon, baby," and she's like rubbing her face against it. I can't help but love her character. It's just so honest and sweet and polite that there's not much to really dislike about her, unless you don't like that type of character type, and she's just being a certain type of character. People have told me that, like, oh, I hate the ones that are all bossy and this and that, and then they're usually, like, for instance, if you go watch Food Wars, there's a super bossy girl in there, but sooner or later you understand why, and you even see a change. So usually people don't like those types of characters, though, which is fine. You don't have to like every single type of character. If you can find something you enjoy in the show, I hope you can. But for me, the two characters on screen that we're watching are absolutely hilarious. They're polar opposites when it comes down to things that they kind of enjoy. For instance, Maple doesn't really care for PvP, while our other girl wants to test her true skills, and I can't wait to see if she's going to be let off the chain, because last time I checked, we would have seen a whole bunch of PvP from her already, from anybody that kind of walked up on her, including this new samurai girl that we're going to see next week. But the guy with the shield in his party, he would have got it. He would have probably died if Maple was like, I don't know these guys. Be on guard and, be ready to fight. So that's just how this story feels to me, is they're really playing well with the two characters, like sides. Like one character is one thing while the other character is the other thing. I think they're doing really good with that, and I look forward to seeing them expand on it and maybe even add some people to the group. So with all that being said, everybody, I hope you have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be. I am your boy, the Anime G, and I will talk to you in the next one. And I won't be dropping some stuff as soon if I do leave out and do what I gotta do, so bear in there with me. Thank you so much for the support, and let's get it.